all, this is KP Maheshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, Fatima College. In this video, we are going to see the next manipulation in list elements using R programming, that is deleting the list element. So in the previous lectures, you all might have seen, we have discussed about how to create a list, and we did few manipulations like adding components into the list and also in the different places at the end, in between and all. And we also try to access the elements from the list we created. And in this video, we are going to just delete the components of a list with the help of two important methods. The first method is we can remove the item from the list by using minus sign along with the list index value. So we know well the index value is a value which starts from 1 in our programming and it continues till the complete data of the list. Now let me see a sample. We created a list called myList with the help of the list function. It consists of three important components A, B and C, where the first component is 1427, or the first elements are 1427, and the second one is welcome to R, and finally 2. What we are going to do is, now I want to delete the first elements in the list. So that is 1427. I want to delete from this particular list, my list. For this, the first method is using minus method, which is nothing but in the index place, that is in front of the index place, if you mention minus, it will delete the particular element. For example, in our case, I want to remove 14217. So the index value of that particular component is, or the element is 1. So when I mention as minus 1, this complete set, or the complete set, which is nothing but 1427, will be deleted. So this is what we mentioned here. So in order to find or see the complete data, just we displayed the data before deleting the particular element by displaying this my list, and after removing, how we removed is my list of minus 1. So what will happen? The index value 1 will be searched. Whatever the data available in that particular index, the data will be removed, and you can see we printed this. Now in the outcome, you can find it out that 1427 is missing, that is we removed it. Let me see another method where this method is similar to the previous one, but instead of making the index value as negative, simply we are going to assign the null value to the particular index. For example, again the same scenario we have taken here. I want to delete the first elements in the list, that is 1427. Simply, I access it with the help of the index value. So you can see here, before delete, we simply printed the details in the list. And now we assign this my list of 1 into null. So what will happen here is, whatever available in the first position of a list, that will be removed. The same scenario what we did in the previous case. So you see the same output we received, but the method is different. When you assign this null into the particular index value, that particular index element will be removed from the list. So this way, these are the two methods we can delete the items or elements from the list. Let me get into the next concept, merging the list. We can create n number of lists, and all those lists can be merged together with the help of the list function itself. We no need to go with some other new functions in order to merge the complete set of data. Let me see a sample. We created two lists, one called as list 1 and another one is list 2. List 1 holds the value 1, 2, 3, and list 2 holds the day of a week, days of a week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, in the short form as SUN, MON and TUE. Now I am going to merge these two lists by simply making it as a vector, that is C of list 1 comma list 2. By doing so, the elements or the components in both the lists will be merged together. And how it will get merged is, it will see the sequence. First list 1 data, and then list 2 data. Continuing to that, the list 2 data will be merged. When you try to print this merged list, where we merge the list 1 and list 2 and we stored it in a merged list variable. So when we print this, we will get this in the sequence 1, 2, 3, SUN, MON and TUE. So in such a case, we can merge the different types of list, and it is not meaning that only 2 lists can be merged. N number of lists can be merged in this way. This topic is very important as well as much more helpful when we do some form of mathematical calculation with the set of data that we created using list. In many cases, when we go for this data analytics or performing some mathematical calculations over a large set of data, and that too heterogeneous set of data with the list created using a list, it's little tough because it may hold a different forms of data type which may not help us to perform mathematical way of expressions or calculations. In such a way, we are in need to go for a conversion. So, in such a case, we can convert the list into a vector to perform further manipulations in terms of mathematical aspects or some calculation part and all. Let me see a sample how to do it. In order to convert this list into a vector, we have one more function which is one of the built-in function in R called as unlist. From the name itself, we can guess it's might be the opposite of list, where the list built-in function we use to create a list. This unlist is used to convert the list into a vector. So let me see a sample. We have two lists here. One is list 1 and another one is list 2, where list 1 contains 5 data, that is 5 values starting from 1 is to 5. It means that this way is called as we are mentioning the set of data to be created inside the list in a form of sequence. When you put this 1, it is a starting value, and after this colon, whatever the number we mentioned, that is the end value. So what it will do is it create a sequence starting from 1 till 5, which is nothing but similar to mention it as a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So rather than getting such kind of expanded way of mentioning the data, we can go with this short way of working with the help of sequence. So, and list 1 have a sequence of data which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Similarly, we created one more list named as list 2, and it starts from the data 10 or the value 10 till 14. So it forms a sequence with the starting value of 10 and ending value of 14. So what will happen here now? The sequence will become as 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So rather the same case, instead of giving it as an expanded way, we go with the sequence form. So now list 1 and list 2 is ready, and we just printed these value, and you can see the sequence in the output. The expected output is here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is stored in list 1, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is stored in a list 2. Now we are going to perform a mathematical calculation of addition between or with the values the first element of list 1 to the first element of the list 2. That is, the values in list 1 is going to add it with the values in the list 2. For this scenario, just we are going to convert this list into a vector, because this kind of working is a mathematical way of performance. For a better result, handling this numerical form, we are going to convert this into vector. So as we discussed earlier, this conversion is possible with the help of one of the built-in function called unlist. So when you mention here unlist of list 1, this is the part where we are converting the list into vector. So immediately the components in the list 1 will be converted to vector, and the converted resultant value is stored in V1. Similarly, list 2 is converted into vector, and that will be stored in V2. And for our easy reference, just we try to print the values of B1 and B2. You can see the output here. B1 holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and B2 holds 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, we are going to add these two vectors by simply mentioning the equation or the expression as B1 plus B2 and the result is stored in the result variable. Finally, we printed the result. So, what is the backend process it done is, it added the value of the first element in the B1, that is vector 1, to the first element in the vector 2, which is 1 plus 10, so we got 11. Similarly, 2 plus 11, 13, 3 plus 12, 15, and 4 plus 13 is 17, and finally the last element 5 plus 14 is 19. In such way, we can go for the conversion of list to vectors for such kind of mathematical calculation. Thank you.